Hi everybody, this is Father Moki and the chicken chaser Blake here at Good Shepherd Church in Wailuku, Maui. Today is February 24th, 2022, and this is Chicken Chat. Although there are no chickens because someone has gotten very territorial here in the courtyard, and so there are no chickens to be found around here today. That's because Blake is here. A couple of announcements in regard to Ash Wednesday and Lent. Ash Wednesday is next Wednesday, March 2nd, and we have a full offering of services for you. We are going to, at 10:30 on Ash Wednesday, have a very simple Eucharist here in the courtyard at 10:30 a.m. and we will do the imposition of ashes. Then I will stand in the parking lot until 12 o'clock and impose ashes on anyone who would like to drive by. Then at noon, a group and I, the group to be determined, are going to walk through Wailuku town with ashes and offer them to anyone who would like them. We won't force them on anybody, but if someone would like to come up and get ashes, we will do that. Then at 7 o'clock p.m. in the church sanctuary, a Eucharist with music and the imposition of ashes. So, and then thereafter, every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock, we'll have service in the church sanctuary, but the Saturday 5 p.m. service will still be outside. For Lent itself, we will have a virtual daily reflection and prayers, which will be available on YouTube and Facebook Premiere. We'll make it available at 6 a.m. every day, but it can be viewed throughout the day. I was asked to launch it early because there's a fair number of people who wanted to begin the day with the reflections. So the theme for the reflections will be the Stations of the Cross, and we will begin at 6 a.m. on Ash Wednesday with the daily reflection, and we will end on the Saturday before Palm Sunday. We do have some birthdays this week. Leo Kaluakini, Chance Brown, and Rian Vien Pasqua. Happy birthday to all of you. And also we say happy anniversary happy anniversary to Melcher and Purificacion Azuara. Found out that Purificacion is the sister of Terry Coelho, who comes to Saturday. Death anniversaries this week, this week meaning between February 17th and between February 24th and March 2nd is Leticia Zuara, Maria Dolores Sagayaga, Damasceno Barbaro, and Crispulo Evangelista. I think we mentioned him last week, and we double counted Crispulo, but it never hurts to be double counted. So for the pastoral care prayer list, please note that the name Richard is no longer on the prayer list. Richard is the brother of Peter Lee, our senior warden, and he died last week in Portland, Oregon after complications from COVID-19. So we're removing Richard from the pastoral care list, but we ask that you please keep Peter and his family in your prayers, and also the Kawile family. Alex Kawile lost his younger brother on Saturday afternoon at Maui Memorial. And God love Alex and Adita. They came to church at 5 o'clock, yeah? So anyway, please keep both the Lee families and the Kawile families in your prayers. And at this time, let's pray for all those on our pastoral care prayer list.
Eric, Paula, Jim, Donna, Filomeno, Amy, Joseph, Sana, Bill, Judy, Lucille, Paulino, Catalina, Maggie, Shirley, Dolores, Leilani, Jacinta, Juanita, Dixie L, David, Purificacion, Kevin, Trip, Joyce, Elmer, Sparky, Sonia, Nelson, Pilar, Nick, Marilyn, Ernesto, Randall, Heidi S., Cora S., Barbara, Charlesta, Paul, Wendy, Dan, Gabby, Lynn, Tomo, Christy, Maisie, Chris, Blandina, Samantha, Cynthia, Fred, Kaili, Suzanne, Paige, Dominga.
Loving God, we give you thanks for being in the midst of us, especially when we are in need of healing. May we feel your presence through our trials and tribulations, and may we turn to you and always be grateful for the wonderful graces that you bestow upon us. Amen. Thank you very much, everyone. If you have any intentions and prayer requests that you'd like me to include in the future, please let me know. I'd also like to report a couple of things. On Friday, went out to Haiku to bless the house of Joan Smith. Joan is new to Maui, and came to Good Shepherd to check us out one Sunday and has been coming back ever since. She came to us from the Napa Valley area. She actually owned a vineyard over there, and then retired, retired in Maui to be closer to her daughter and her grandchildren who live on Maui, and she's just become such a wonderful part of the Good Shepherd community. She's gone on rides with a cup of cold water and things. So it was nice to go and spend time with Joan in her home. And then yesterday drove up to Kula after church to officiate at the wedding of Rhoda Dela Cruz and Kevin Riglos. Very, very nice wedding up in Kula. Even though it was very, very foggy, but like the Transfiguration, the fog lifted for just a little bit and gave us a glimpse of the ocean and of Paia in that area. So it was nice, and they're so much in love and just really sweet to each other. So it was a wonderful occasion. The Bible verse for February is from 1 John 3:16. We know what real love is because Jesus gave his life for us. We know what real love is because Jesus gave his life for us. We do have a work day this coming Saturday, February 26th, to spruce up the church before Lent, and we're going to work on the Stations of the Cross and the Parish Hall attic. So there's going to be an outdoor team and an indoor team. The work will begin at 8 o'clock and will continue until we're all finished. There's going to be a light morning refreshments, and then lunch will be provided afterwards. Please see the February Shepherd staff for more information. And Louise Aloy, our junior warden, is organizing this effort, and I'm just so grateful to her for all her help. This Sunday, the Ka'ohana Kitchen will be cared for by the Akana family. And last week it was cared for by the Cramp family. I wasn't able to go and bless the food, unfortunately, because I was up in Kula doing the wedding. A Cup of Cold Water needs volunteers to resume the Sunday runs. And they are participating in the Paia Monday Morning Government Nonprofit Resources Fair, which is an initiative of the Maui Police Department that I spoke about last week. A Cup of Cold Water needs gently used backpacks, board shorts, hoodies, slippers, first aid items, reusable shopping bags, and lightweight blankets. gentleman came by on Saturday while we were getting ready for church and said, "Can I have a blanket?" So went in and got him a blanket, and he left so light and so happy, and just said thank you, and it really warmed my heart to see that. Let's see. There's a donation drive to benefit A Cup of Cold Water. We're asking for cases of bottled water, which can be dropped off at the church office during the week or at church on Saturday or Sunday. We do have a bazaar coming up on March 12th from 8 to 1, where there will be household items, baked goods, bento lunches, etc. And the proceeds will go to benefit the women's group ministries, including A Cup of Cold Water, the Church Periodical Club, and back to school supplies and donations to those in need during the holidays. Please see the Good Shepherd staff for more details. Donations can start coming in on the 27th of February. The baked goods can come in on March the 12th. Let's see. Ongoing activities this week. Please remember the Ash Wednesday services on March 2nd. The next Chicken Chat will be after that, so we're announcing that now. Please remember the Lent daily virtual offerings and our regular church services. 5 o'clock in the courtyard, 9 o'clock in the courtyard on Sunday morning, 7 o'clock, 7 a.m. virtual liturgy on YouTube and Facebook Premiere. We also offer centering prayer on Tuesdays at 4 via Zoom, men's Bible study via Zoom on Wednesdays at 7 a.m., Anglican Rosary on Facebook Live at 12 noon on Wednesdays, and women's Bible study on Zoom on Thursdays. This week, we are praying for the Anglican Church of Kenya. I had a seminary colleague at Seabury during my time there who was from Kenya. Very, very strong woman, put up with no nonsense. And boy, did she know her Bible and her theology. It was amazing. But we're praying for the Anglican Church of Kenya, and also Christ Church in Kealakekua on Hawaii Island, and the Reverend Canon Dwight Brown and Mrs. Catherine Elizabeth Brown, who are there in Kealakekua. Then we have saints. Now I admit to you, I didn't study very carefully, but I'm going to do the best I can. The first person is George Herbert, priest and poet, who died in 1633. He was a cousin of the Earl of Pembroke, and his mother was a friend of the poet John Donne. He attended Trinity College, Cambridge, and became a public orator of the university, so he was good at making vala'au. He gave speeches of welcome in Latin to famous visitors. He wrote letters of thanks in Latin. And because he was able to do that, he caught the attention of King James I. And the king granted him an annual allowance. And it seemed like he was going to become an ambassador. And then the king died. And so all those dreams sort of faded away. And George Herbert went into his initial dream of becoming a priest. And all that is background to say that he's remembered for a book of poems that he wrote called The Temple, which he sent to his friend Nicholas Farrar. I think Nicholas Farrar was one of these guys called the Caroline Divines. So anyway, that is George Herbert. Then we have, oh man, this amazing lady, Anna Julia Hayward Cooper, an educator who died in 1964, 1 year before I was born. Now you bear in mind that at that time there was deep segregation in the South, and she was born in North Carolina. Her mother was a slave and her father was the master of her mother. So Anna Julia Hayward Cooper was Hapa. And she was really, really smart and got a scholarship to attend St. Augustine Normal School and Collegiate Institute, which was founded by the Episcopal Church to educate African American teachers and clergy. And there she began her membership in the Episcopal Church and taught and worked very hard for African American women. And she helped to organize the Colored Women's League and the first Colored Settlement House in Washington, D.C. And she spoke widely on issues of race and gender. You know, these people who are like, they're so smart, it just blows my mind. Then we have another educator, Elizabeth Evelyn Wright. She died in 1906, and she founded the Denmark Industrial Institute, not in Scandinavia, but in Denmark, South Carolina. And it morphed into a college called Voorhees College, which is a historically black college. You know, this was in 1906, you guys. You know, it was not easy for people of color to do these kinds of things, and yet they managed to prevail. Just amazing. Then we have David of Wales. He died in 544, and the pagan Anglo-Saxons invaded Britain, and so a lot of Christians ran away to Wales and developed a Christian life, and they devoted it to learning and asceticism and missionary fervor. And because there were no cities, the monasteries became the center of the church, and so often you became a bishop of a monastery rather than bishop of a geographical area, and this was what David did. Then we have Chad of Lichfield, who was the bishop of Lichfield. And it says here in the commentary, I love this, he's perhaps best known for not being Archbishop of York. He was elected and he was installed, but some people raised objections, and rather than cause division in the church, he withdrew in favor of the other candidate and then became Bishop of Lichfield. That takes guts, and you know, it takes integrity also. Then we have John and Charles Wesley, renewers of the church. It says here, let's see, I guess one of them died in 1791, the other died in 1788, and they were leaders of the evangelical revival of the Church of England in the 18th century. They were smart. They attended Oxford University, and you know who else attended Oxford University? The current emperor of Japan, Naruhito, attended Oxford University. And they gathered a few friends with whom they undertook a strict adherence to the worship and discipline of the Book of Common Prayer, from which strict observance they received the nickname Methodists, because they were very methodical. I was going to say methodical. Thank you, Vanna. All right. Then we have Paul Cuffey. I remember this guy from last year. Do you guys remember? He was a witness to the faith among the Shinnecock. He died in 1812, and it says here, the tombstone tells its own story. Erected by the New York Missionary Society in memory of the Reverend Paul Cuffey, an Indian of the Shinnecock tribe who was employed by the Society for the last 13 years of his life on the eastern part of Long Island, where he labored in fidelity and success, humble, pious, and indefatigable in testifying the gospel of the grace of God. So he worked with the Shinnecock population. And there we have it. How did I do, everybody? Did I wing it well? And now, everyone, for the moment we've all been waiting for, the chicken, I'm trying to make him flap. The chicken of the week. The chicken of the week is not Blake, however. The chicken of the week you actually saw if you watched the virtual service on Sunday and you listened to Tony doing the prayers, and every time she finished a petition, this chicken in the yard would go, "Bok bok!" You know, pray for those who have died. Bok bok! You know, so, and then later on, he got up on the bench and started crowing. And then he got up on the fence and started crowing. And he was kind of a very plump looking rooster, like most of the roosters around here. And I thought, ooh, man, he would taste really, really good. So for the chicken of the week, we would like to name the chicken of the week Crier the Friar. Crier the Friar. Not F-R-I-A-R, although he could be because he's so evangelical, but F-R-Y-E-R. Crier the Friar. Thank you for participating in the prayers, Crier the Friar. Thank you for making us laugh. And congratulations for being Chicken of the Week. And we will see you all next week for Chicken Chat. Take care. Until then, and God bless. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.